Greetings, my name is Winnie Chawira, the host on Omaha Reggae Vibes. And last week, here on Omaha Reggae Vibes, I had special guests in the studio. It was the band members for the reggae group Morgan Heritage. When you talk about reggae music, you can never talk about reggae music without talking about Morgan Heritage. When you talk about roots reggae, you can never talk about roots reggae without talking about Morgan Heritage. When you talk about conscious music, you can never talk about conscious music without talking about Morgan Heritage. The band members I had in the studio were Gramps Morgan, who is a keyboard player, plus he is also a vocalist. And his brother, Mojo Morgan, he is a percussionist and he also is a vocalist. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Greetings, my name is Winnie Chawira, the host on Omaha Reggae Vibes, and tonight I feel blessed, I feel honored, and I feel humbled. I have one of the best top band members for the band Morgan Heritage. It is Mojo and Gramps. Greetings, Gramps. How are you doing?
Yes, we are wonderful. Thank you for having us.
Welcome on Omaha Reggae Vibes. Thank you. And tonight, Morgan Heritage is going to have a performance at Soko Underground. And what we are going to do tonight, we are going to talk a little bit about you guys, your background, and also the album review of the best album so far, yes. Strictly Roots.
Thank you.
So Mojo, tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I'm the youngest member in the group.
Yes.
The group consists of Yuna, the only female,
yes.
Lukes, Peter,
yes.
Gramps, and myself.
Yes.
We are a family group,
yes.
4 brothers and 1 sister.
Yes.
And like you said, we're on tour right now behind the new album, Strictly Roots. So
yes.
if you don't have it, download it on iTunes or
yes.
your Play Store.
Yes, and it is a very good album. It is a very good album. You are welcome. And Gramps, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, one-fifth of some of the best people I know here in a reggae band called Morgan Heritage. Some of my best friends. And we've been doing this for a very long time,
yes.
since we were children. And thank you to my father, Denver Morgan, yes. for believing in our talent even before we believed in ourselves.
Yes.
And our message to parents out there, just continue to support your children in their dreams, because that's what we received from our parents,
yes.
and our mothers, and taking our culture as Africans and as Caribbean people, and sharing that with the world through music. So this is who we are,
yes.
and I'm just sharing it with the world.
Wonderful. And you know what? For those who don't know Morgan Heritage, you guys, your parents, your father himself is a great reggae artist. And so from my understanding, from reading through your stuff and listening to and watching your interviews, he actually taught you more about music at younger ages.
Yes.
Right? Okay. All right, so that's good. And I know you also play instruments. Can you tell a little bit about the instruments you play?
I'm the percussionist in the group.
Yes.
Gramps is keyboards and
yes.
vocals.
Yes.
Yuna is the keyboards and vocals as well.
Yes.
Luke plays rhythm guitar, and
yes.
Peter plays guitar as well as vocals.
Yes.
So we all play an instrument, and 4 of us do vocals.
Yes. That is wonderful. It is just so much talent that you sing, and you also play instruments, which is really great. And today, one of the things that I want to talk about is this brand new album that you dropped in April, Strictly Roots. For me, this is a great album. It's just like you really can hardly find albums that you can look at and you find more than 7, 8 songs that you like on one album.
Right.
And you did an excellent job. So can you tell me a little bit more, you're welcome, a little bit more about this album?
Strictly Roots is the 10th studio album for Morgan Heritage.
Yes.
For the new fans,
yes.
they can download our app. It's a free app that we have
yes.
on your Play Store or your App Store on your Apple devices.
Right.
And you can discover the discography of Morgan Heritage.
Yes.
And then they can understand why you feel like this is an album that ranks at the top of all the albums that we've done so far. This album features artists like Chronix,
Yes.
Artists like J Boog,
Yes.
Jamira Morgan, son
Yes.
of Gramps Morgan, our nephew.
Yes.
It also features third generation Marley and Joe Mercer Marley. That's the son of Stephen Marley, grandson of Bob Marley.
Yes.
Shaggy,
Yes.
our fellow Brooklynite.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And it also features a drummer, you know, a rock and roll drummer that's heavily influenced by Jamaican music named Gil Sharon.
Oh, wow.
And two of the biggest reggae bands in the United States, you know, last but not least, it features the lead singer of Revolution, Eric Rachmani,
Yes.
and our brethren, Bobby Lee of Soja.
Yes, yes. And honestly, this album is really great because every single time I listen to it, I'm like, oh, this is my favorite song, you know, on this album. And then when I listen to it again, I have another favorite song. So that's what it does. You know, when you do good work and it comes out there, you know, and how have been the feel, like the feedback from people?
It's been really good.
It's been incredible.
It's been really good because I watched one of your interviews in the past, just recently, maybe a couple months ago, and they were talking about the Light It Up song, which is a great song. It is a great song that you guys did. And then I listened to it, I'm like, I like this song. And then I turn around, I'm like, I like Perform and Done. I like Rise and Fall. I like Celebrate Life. You know, you just like all these songs in this album. So, and I know you were on Billboard charts. So can you tell me a little bit more about that?
When the album came out, you know, we was on tour and we heard it hit #1 on iTunes. And
Yes.
most of the times the album is released, you have to wait till the following week to see
Right.
what it is on the Billboard chart.
Right.
So when it hit the Billboard chart,
Yes.
right, the build up to it, Mojo would say, bubbling on the top 100.
Yes, yes,
Quote that came from Bob Marley.
yes,
And we just was just praying that it would do well or break the top 10. 'Cause,
Right.
You know, it's been a while. People didn't hear our album from Morgan Heritage.
yes,
What made it exciting is that it's on our own label, CTBC Music
Yes,
Group,
yes.
which means cool to be conscious.
yes.
So it was very exciting, and the whole week Mojo was saying, bubbling on the top 100.
Yes.
And then the first week we hit the #1 spot on Billboard.
Wonderful. Congratulations on that. Congratulations on that. And that's the other thing I wanted to say, because this is the first time you are doing an album independent of VP Records.
Yes.
So how is the experience in knowing that you are actually producing an album that goes and hits Billboard charts?
It's very humbling. A reality of it, you know, me and Mojo, when we've done solo projects.
Right.
So upon that, there was so much that was learned.
Yes.
That you understand that you have to go to FedEx now.
Yes.
You have to call the radio station.
Yes.
You have to go out and do all the promotional and fly and set up the flights and set up the travel arrangements, the
Right.
hotels. So that is one of the biggest things that you understand, that you are now responsible for these things, doing it
Right.
independent,
Right.
as a record company.
Right.
So we've been prepared for it, and the relationship with VP Records has been just wonderful over
Right.
the years, and we've learned a lot from them, and they've learned a lot from us, even in being a record company.
Wonderful. That is great, because now you get to do all this work, you know, on your own. But I have to also give it up to you guys. You do a lot on social media.
Yes.
You do a lot on social media. Because I follow artists, you know, to see what's going on, who is doing what. And you do a lot of stuff, like you can't even go for several hours without seeing something from either Gramps, Peter, Mojo, Morgan Heritage, you know. It's like you just like see something, you know. And yes, and which is good, you know, because that's what the fans want. The fans want to see you getting more involved. You know, you post something, they go and like, they go and watch. This is what makes you get more attached to the fans. And also, the other thing I was going to ask you, now that you produced this album and you are on tour, and I know you were in Europe, how was your experience in Europe?
The experience in Europe was exceptional.
Yes.
We went over there around 2 weeks before the album was released to
Yes.
go across the continent and play the music,
Right.
you know, from the new album for the people and see the response in real time.
Right.
We've never done that before for any of our albums before, and
Yes.
it was an experience where it was a learning experience
Yes.
because we got to see what people are listening to these days in the dancehall.
Right.
But at the same time, we saw the appreciation of new Morgan heritage music that
Right.
they've never heard before.
Yes.
So it was very encouraging. You know, when you release music, there's no guarantee people will like it.
Yes. Yes.
So when we see the response of the people, it's very rewarding.
Right.
And it's very humbling for us. We don't really get like, not that we don't get excited, but we don't let it go to our heads.
Yes.
The fact that people love the music, you know, it's a comfort to know that,
Right.
you know, that we did something good and
Yes.
the people like it.
People are liking
and
it.
that's why it has a humbling effect on us.
Wonderful. And you had some sold out shows.
Thus far, it was really good for Germany.
Yes.
Germany was amazing.
Yes.
We went to Italy.
Yes.
I mean, massive events.
Yes. Yes.
It was just beyond our expectations, to be honest.
Right.
We didn't really expect that the turnout that we had
Right.
at several of the events.
Yes, yeah, because I watched, I think there was Germany, you had like a sold out show, and you know, I kind of watched the clips, you know, because that's what I do. I watch people's stuff. It is called social media. And then you came to US. How has your experience been so far in US?
It's been growing, you know. And we've been having a lot of fun just being on the road. And we did a show kicked off in the Northeast.
Yes.
Performed with people like Maxi Priest, just being on the same stage with such legends, and
Yes.
people like Billy Ocean sharing the stage.
Yes.
with Legends like Coco T.
Yes.
You know, it's Lieutenant Stitchie, just being on the same stage with these people. Cape Town, it's like, wow.
Yes. Yes.
So it's been a wonderful experience, and now sharing stage with people like J Boog and The Green,
Yes.
and people that are now taking on reggae
Right.
as a main genre of music in America.
Right.
Which,
Right.
you know, it was never really that strong, and I think there's a wave of it that's
Yes.
happening in America now, where
Yes.
there's reggae bands coming from all over the country
Right.
in the United States. And we always will continue to represent Jamaica and more so Brooklyn and Massachusetts, where we grew up and
Yes.
you know, had our musical roots in Brooklyn. But
Wonderful.
grew up in Springfield, Massachusetts, which people are like, you guys grew up in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yes.
You know, most people don't even know
Right.
what Massachusetts is, but once they discover, and this is a history where our grandmother, her soul rest in peace, Una Morgan,
Right.
decided to speak to my father about raising us, not in Brooklyn, New York, but to move us to a suburb area where we could get proper education.
Right.
It was more safe, where crime wasn't such
It's
a high
high.
thing. So it really had a lot to do with our upbringing and us learning proper English and,
Yes.
and getting a good education.
Yes.
So we're proud of to be from Springfield, Massachusetts, to be growing up there of Jamaican heritage and African heritage.
And wonderful. And I always hear about your shows in Massachusetts because I know people who live there, and they say when you guys go there with Beres Hammond, your shows are always sold out. I always hear about
we
that.
had Boston last year. Was it last year? Yeah.
Yes.
The park was, I think there was maybe like 2,000 people stuck outside that couldn't get in.
Yes, yeah, I always hear that, and you know, they are like, you need to fly to Massachusetts and come and watch Morgan Heritage. I'm like, well, they can come to Omaha, okay? But I'm glad you are here, so we get to watch you tonight.
Yeah, fresh like puppies.
Yes. So, with that being said, how has been your experience? Because I know you went to Canada and did some shows in Canada.
Yes. The beginning of this leg of the tour
Yes.
took us to New York, it took us to Massachusetts, took us
Right.
to Montreal, where
Yes.
we've performed to some capacity audiences. I mean, for us, America is not being, North America wasn't one of our strongest markets for touring.
Right.
So touring behind this album, especially on this second leg thus far, it's been really encouraging and makes us want to continue to tour in America more.
Right,
Because,
right.
you know, we've toured in the Caribbean
Right.
for many years, visited the same places every year.
Yes.
Same thing goes for Europe. I mean, for about 3 or 4 years, we toured Europe twice a year.
Yes.
Every year.
Yes.
So now we're putting in that time in America, and we can see the growth of our audience from when we toured in April to launch the album to now we're touring. We can see the audience is growing. So, you know, we're very happy to be here in Omaha to bring the Strictly Roots World Tour.
Right.
And I will hope that people will enjoy it and give us the feedback on social media.
Yes. And I am sure people are going to really enjoy the show tonight. And of course, this is the first time you've been to Omaha after about 10 years, you said earlier.
Yes.
You know, so people really are looking forward to seeing you. And the more you come, the more your fan base is just going to grow, because people will know, oh, we had that exceptional performance from Morgan Heritage, and next time we have to make sure we get there, you know. So, you know, that's just how it goes with music. And I know this album, I have so many songs that I love on this album. And can you tell me who wrote these songs?
Yes. Well, it is a combination between all of us. One of my favorite songs that I like to listen to on a certain day is Sunday Morning.
Yes.
That Mojo is singing the lead on. And
Right.
a lot of times people don't realize the different dimensions of Morgan Heritage.
Yes.
It's like you have 5 solo acts in one band.
Right.
My father saw that in about, what was it, maybe 15, 16 years ago.
Yes.
And was adamant about saying, we need to show the world what I see. And
Yes.
we were like, no, Daddy, we don't want to do this. And he said, trust me.
Yes.
So hence came the solo projects. And
Right.
so you can, when you listen to this album, you get a little bit
Of everybody?
of everyone, and also you see the growth of Morgan Heritage.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so on different days, it's Celebrate Life may hit me on a day when I have a down day, and,
Yes.
and I think that my world is coming down, and
Right.
I think about little children fighting cancer.
Right,
That
right.
are fighting for their lives,
Right.
and realize that I'm still alive and still have an opportunity to,
Yes.
to make it and work hard,
Right.
even if I am a garbage man, but I have a job.
Yes.
And so different songs on different days, and then Wanna Be Loved is just showing the equality of love amongst everyone.
Right.
That everyone wants to be loved, even
Yes.
the wicked man.
Right,
He
of course.
still wants to be loved,
Yes.
you know?
That is
So,
true. That is true.
you know,
Yes.
different songs on different days, and
On
we
different
all
days.
wrote all the songs, and for many years, you know, it's been that way. Thank God that we've been blessed with that talent to
Right.
write lyrics, because it's
Right.
not something to be taken for granted.
Definitely. And honestly, when I listen, like you said, Celebrate Life, I love the song. And I love Sunday Morning, you know, because, you know, when you work, you know, and you're just like, oh, yeah, you know, I can play this song every day, you know. So you have a lot of good songs on this album. And which one would you say is your favorite on the album?
Very difficult. One of my favorites is the song "Wanna Be Loved," because I think it embodies the message of this album.
Right.
You know, and the direction of the music.
Yes.
Because reggae music is now a global music industry and needs to be respected as such. It's no longer a music that's only created in this beautiful island in the Caribbean,
Yes. Yes.
you know, sea. So, "Wanna Be Loved," when you listen to the song and you see the feature on it in Eric Rachmani from Revolution,
Right.
you know, it highlights all of that all in one, and then the message in the song, as Graham spoke about,
Yes.
is universal. It's for all people.
Yes. And how do you feel about this song, the title of the album, Strictly Roots?
Oh, it's just, we love it because it creates, you know, a lot of misunderstandings. We don't love the misunderstandings, but we love the fact that people play on words the way they do.
Right.
Because
right.
people get thrown off by the fact that we're a roots reggae artist.
Right.
So when we say Strictly Roots, the appreciation you have for the diversity,
Right.
you know, on this album that we captured musically, some people are thrown off by it.
Right.
Because, you know, they're expecting Strictly Roots music.
Right.
And we didn't say that, we said Strictly Roots.
Roots, yes. Well, for me, I actually love the song. Like, I play it, I have to kind of play it several times, you know, just repeat and repeat and repeat, because I think it's a really good song, and it's a powerful song, you know, if you understand roots music and really appreciate roots music. And like you said, sometimes you might get confused, because you're like, well, you know, this song is a little bit dancehall, you know, flavor, but, you know, but still, it's really, really, really a good song. And then perform and done. I heard that song being played on the radio today. Here in Omaha when I was driving, you know, I heard that song on radio. What do you think about that song?
Well, I love Perform and Done.
Yes.
Perform and Done embodies just what my brother Mojo just said.
Yes.
That people hear the title of the album, Strictly Roots, and think that we're saying roots music.
Right.
We're talking about the roots of life.
Right.
You know, and when we say perform and done, it means reach for the sky.
Right.
And also giving the admiration of a woman instead of saying derogatory things about her or
Right.
approaching her in a
Right.
very disrespectful way.
Yes.
We're saying just perform and done.
And done, yes.
And recognizing her beauty.
Right.
And recognizing her femininity.
Right.
Just that whole sensual side of watch a woman dance, which we know that the most beautiful dances come from Africa.
Right.
And when you see the African dancing, you know, you see African dancing, and we see that they're just catching up to some of these things here in the Western Hemisphere.
Yes.
And you can see that even in the Western Hemisphere, between the Caribbean and the U.S., you find that black
Right.
people are very talented when it comes to dancing.
To dancing, yes.
So that's what we mean, perform and done, and talking about strictly roots.
Right.
It's everyone, whether you come from Russia, Italy, Israel, Africa, the Caribbean, you have a root.
Yes.
So everyone must hold on to their roots and
Right.
be who they are and make us this beautiful melting pot.
Right. And now that you brought this story about Africa, you guys have been to Kenya. What other countries in Africa have you been to?
We've been to Sierra Leone, we've been to Ivory Coast, we've been to Senegal several times, we've been to Gambia, we've been to Burkina Faso,
Right.
we have been to South Africa,
Yes.
and
The islands off the
Islands
coast of
Of the
South
coast.
Africa.
Yes. Reunion.
Mauritius.
Mauritius. Yes.
Seychelles.
Yes. Oh, wow.
And we've been to Nigeria as well.
Wonderful. So you have traveled because, you know, when I posted on my Facebook page, I said, you know, I'm going to have Morgan Heritage in the studio. Do you guys, what do you want me to ask them? Okay. I had more questions from people in Africa than I had from people here.
Yes, Africa.
We love it.
Yes, and they were like asking, when are they going to come back to Kenya? When are they going to perform in Uganda? When are they going to be in Zimbabwe? You know, like, are they going to come to Zambia?
Zimbabwe is on our map.
Yes.
We're really trying to get to Zimbabwe.
To Zimbabwe,
and
yes.
Uganda.
Yes.
And Ethiopia.
In Ethiopia, yes. Yes, yeah, because I got a lot of that. People asking when are they going to come back to Africa, you know, because you have, and even for tonight, I've had so many people blow up my phone because you really have a big fan base in Kenya. They are like coming in numbers today. And I was like, really, they're like, oh yeah, you know, Morgan Heritage, they are big in Kenya, you know.
Our fans in Africa are very passionate.
Yes.
And they're very serious because especially predominantly off of an album called More Teachings, they were very educated upon African culture and things about the Rastafarian faith that enlightened them.
Right.
And they found that it was very transparent.
Yes.
And they were intrigued by that. A lot of college students and, you know, especially the Kenyans, they were very intelligent, and Kenyans are very prideful people, as well as the people from Zimbabwe, and Gambians and Senegalese and Ghanaians are very find a lot of pride in reggae music.
Yes,
so
yes.
we love them to death. It's crazy.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, because I had all those questions and I was like, when are they going to come back? And of course, you're going to see them in numbers tonight, yes, because people from Kenya, they already told me they are going to be coming. They are coming from all over the place. Wow. So you will see them because you have a big fan base there. And of course, from Zimbabwe, we also have a lot of people, because that's where I come from. And we have a lot of people who are coming from Zimbabwe. And I'm going to be there too. So, you know, I count, right?
Yes, ma'am. Very important.
Yes. So I am actually glad we get to talk about your album. And then some people had some questions. They were wondering, are you guys still a group?
Yeah, man, of course.
Yes.
We're forever a band, but you've seen, you know, Gramps Morgan performing solo and touring with all kind of different acts. You've seen Peter touring solo. You see Yuna, you know, coming out with her own perfume. You see Mojo touring and doing stuff with rock bands and doing combinations, and he's put out an EP. But we will always be a band. But these solo projects are to show the different dimensions,
yes,
the diversity of the band Morgan Heritage. So
yes,
we're forever a band, and even when we were working on solo project, we were still touring as a band. The only thing that made a difference is that we were not putting out an album. So there was all kind of rumors. Morgan Heritage is broken up. I heard that Mojo caused it. I heard Gramps You caused it.
Yes, yes.
You know, it's like I'm going to be putting out my own food line soon. In August, the end of August, I'll be launching my own.
Is that the Gramps Farms?
Gramps Farms.
Okay,
yes.
okay, yep.
So Gramps Morgan Farms will be launched in August.
Yes.
And it will have just sharing the culture of jerk, which comes from Africa. A lot of people don't know.
Right.
That if you go to certain places in Africa and you see how they do chicken, you see it's the same way we do jerk chicken, except when it came to Jamaica, it mixed with different cultures. I found out that while preparing this line, the jerk seasoning, that jerk seasoning was made to preserve meat.
Yes.
I found that out when I was in Jamaica learning. That it was a marinade that, it was like how they put salt on fish to preserve.
True, yes, so it doesn't make it bad.
Jerk was created to preserve meat. They would hang it in the trees in Africa. They would rub this marinade and they would hold the meat and they would dry and then they would eat it.
Right.
So it was almost like what they call beef jerky in America.
Right, yes,
so
yes.
Smoke it and do all kind of things. But I'll be launching that line. It'll be a jerk barbecue sauce, so people can just come home and just, you got a piece of salmon, you can just put it on there.
All right.
I'll also have a Scotch bonnet pepper sauce, which is the main ingredient in jerk chicken.
Oh wow!
And then I'll also be having the Scotch bonnet jerk seasoning and the jerk barbecue sauce.
All right.
I'll be doing probably a few other items coming soon.
Wonderful. So for all the viewers, make sure you look for Gramps Morgan's food line, and he will have those nice spices, and I will be definitely looking forward to see them.
Nice.
Yes, I'll be looking forward to see them too, you know. So, you know, I actually just heard you guys talk about it because I knew you were a group. But of course, you know, when fans are coming asking me, I'm like, well, I'm going to ask them. You know, that way they hear it from you, telling them that, you know, we are still a group, you know. Because people, they always, you know, like talk, they want to, you know, are they working together? Are they doing this? And another question I got was, when are you guys going to be performing in New York this summer?
New York? We just performed in New York.
You just performed? Well, there's somebody who posted, like, are they coming back in summer?
We'll be back in New York on the 30th of August.
30th of August?
Yes, at Central Park Summer Stage.
Central Park, okay.
Alongside Damian Marley, Stephen Marley, Joe Mercer Marley, who's featured on the album, Tyrus Riley, and some other Ghetto Youths crew. Our nephew Jameer would also be there. Right.
Yes, and speaking of which, you know, I met your son, Jameer Morgan, and tell me how you are grooming him. He is a great artist. Yes.
But he's growing every day by being amongst me and his uncles and his auntie. He gets a chance to learn hands-on.
Yes.
Because a lot of times when we are at home as my son, you know, and I'm telling him to do this and do this, when he comes and see his Uncle Peter, which is an amazing vocalist and performer, he gets to learn a lot. So he's learning on the job. He didn't go to music school like a lot of musicians get a chance to go. And, you know, he didn't get like even we got a little bit of teachings from, you know, teachers that my father would bring in. But he's something to reckon with. I think he's a breath of fresh air because of his age. And that people like you who love reggae can introduce your children to him. A lot of times children don't want to listen to the same artists their parents are listening to. People music. But now you have Jameer as a young, you know, teenager. Well, he's 20 now. And he can relate to younger kids that are 14, and his fan base is really young, like 5-6-year-old kids love him. So it's like Sesame Street reggae for children.
And people like us too, even though we are not young, you know, we still love you, you know, because, you know, like the younger generation. Because the first time I watched Joe Mercer Marley perform, it was in Miami at the 9 Mile Festival, and I was like, oh my, you know, this artist is really good, you know.
Something to reckon with.
Yes. And then they had a tour and they were in Lincoln, and I had everybody go to Lincoln, you know. I'm like, we need to go and watch him, you know. He did an excellent job. So we went to Lincoln, you know, which is an hour away, to watch them perform. So I think that's really good for you guys, not only being as great artists, but you are also grooming your children to continue this legacy of reggae.
Thank you.
You are welcome. You are welcome. So you are welcome. So I really think that is great in regards with that. And so, any other plans that you have after the tour?
Just more touring. We're gonna Kenya. Look out for the announcement.
Yes.
We just got confirmation that we're coming to Kenya.
Oh, wonderful!
In the autumn.
Wonderful.
And we're trying to see if we can get, you know, over to Uganda.
Yes. Oh, and they will be.
Tanzania,
I got to
you
those
know,
questions.
Ethiopia,
Yes. And Zimbabwe.
and Zimbabwe. You know.
Download that Morgan Heritage app.
Yes,
You know, and
yes.
set your profile. All of our fans in Kenya, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, Nigeria,
Yes.
Uganda, South Africa, Sierra Leone. Download the app. It's a free app.
Right.
And so they can, sometimes Mojo's on there a lot, you know.
Yes,
But you have to
yes.
set up your profile in order set
To
up
be
your
able to
email
get-
and a
yes.
Join the
name.
chat room.
So
Right.
you can join the chat room and we talk live to our fans.
Oh, that is nice. I'm actually going to have to share more on that to people, you know, because this is what we like to do. But you know what, though? I am one of those people, you know, everybody who does an interview always have one question that they are pressing to ask. And my question is, who wrote this song, Put It On Me?
Put it on me. That one started with Peter. Like I say, we always all come together. We make
Right.
up with an idea, and then we'll say, "All right, you write your verse." So
Right.
that one, it was written by Morgan Heritage, and
Everybody?
Peter was the lead on that, and
On that-
myself, and
Yes.
you know, we all just come together and finalize.
And put in the lyrics,
Yeah.
because I watched the video. I watched the video and I'm like, let me see who is emotionally invested in this song.
It's a beautiful song.
It is a beautiful song. It is a beautiful song.
Maria's video was shot in Africa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Oh, in Nigeria? Oh, wow. Nice, nice.
This part was shot in Nigeria.
Oh, wow. Oh, really? Oh, nice,
Really?
nice. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a beautiful song. And of course, you know, with this song, and then you look at the videos and stuff, you know,
It's
it's,
a very playful video. Too.
yes, it is. It is. It's very interesting because, you know, like I played several times, you know, you watch the video, you play the song, and it's really a good song.
Yeah.
So today it is Mojo's birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. So maybe I'm going to have Graham sing happy birthday to Mojo.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mojo. Happy birthday to you.
Yes, I.
Thank you very much. Thank you for saying happy birthday. You are welcome. You are welcome. And thank you guys for joining me here on Omaha Reggae Vibes. But before I go, and we all go, I want you to sing a line for me, and you sing something for me.
Sing.
Yes, again.
Okay. All right, the song I can sing for you is we say, if you're looking for the roots, then know where to find me. Hey, cause if you're looking for the roots, then know where to find me. Me say them go on like them, no know but the roots, it don't go nowhere.
Roots.
So if you're looking for the roots, then know where to find me. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And tonight I am looking forward for your performance at Sokol Auditorium, as many other reggae fans in Omaha. And thank you again for coming here tonight.
Thank you. I want to tell everyone to follow us on social media.
Yes.
As we talk about at Morgan Heritage.
Yes.
On Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yes. And for your music?
MorganHeritageMusic.com and download the free app.
Okay. And your music is available if they want to buy?
Strictly Roots, the new album, on the iTunes,
Yes.
as well as the Play Store on Android devices.
And do you have anything on CD, baby?
It's on CD Baby, it's on Rhapsody, it's on Amazon.
Right.
You know, or you could just download the app and stream it or buy it physically or digitally.
And this is my copy for Strictly Roots.
Yes,
I
that's right.
love this album. I love I love all the songs. And of course, I have my favorites, maybe 8 of them.
Thanks.
And thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you for having
One
us.
love, one love.
Respect.
Okay, blessed.
Omaha,
thank you for joining me here on Omaha Reggae Vibes, and I'm hoping you enjoyed the Omaha Reggae Vibes as much as I did tonight. And I'm hoping you got to know and appreciate a little bit more about Morgan Heritage and get to know why they are the Royal Reggae family. Morgan Heritage, they are known globally. They have great fan base in Africa, in Europe, North America, South America. They are known in Asia. They are a great reggae band. Have a great week ahead. See you next week.
No people come to Jamaica, no know how we live things. Say everything nice, true, we full of vibes and thing. Them same one feel it to them heart when them get few understand the real thing. Yeah, me day at town one day, I part with a white man we come all the way from Norway, and him turn to me and say, how comes Jamaica full of so much screw face? Same time he live me.